I know that we are young, and I know that you may love me.
But I just can't be with you like this anymore.
Alejandro.
She's got no hands.
Was it like burlesque?
Okay.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 6, I believe. I think it's 6. Six. Today, we have a very special guest because Hunter is not in the country. Our guest for this episode and our guest for the first time is my lovely girlfriend, Shalmi/Lola.
Hello.
What do you prefer, Lola or Shalmi?
I like both. In ballroom, I only go by Lola.
But we're not in ballroom now,
We're not
are
in
we?
ballroom right
Damn.
Damn.
Oh.
Lola la loca.
Okay, but before we get into the episode, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Just a little quick introduction.
I am 27 years old. I'm from Peru. My favorite movie is Alien. And my favorite food is ceviche. I love dancing. I'm in ballroom. I love music. I love
a lot of information.
And I believe that aliens might be real.
Awesome, you're hired.
Thank you.
Tell me how much you love me. Tell me you'll never doubt me. Tell me how much I changed your life. Say you can't live without
Okay, so
me.
We have some questions.
Tell me
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I'm so excited.
Okay, so we have gotten a lot of questions from you all from my Instagram. So I've gathered the top ones, and we have a lot of questions to go through today. And by far, the most popular question was how we met and how long we've been together.
Oh
So
my
we're gonna
gosh.
go over that first and tell you about the story of Benji and Shalmi.
/ Lola. How we met.
How we met.
It's a long story.
It is.
I've known you for a very long. I've known you for as long as I have known Hunter.
Yeah.
And for those who didn't know, me and Hunter are very close friends. I would say we're family because we are in the same ballroom house, the legendary Kiki House of Angels. That's not at all how we met. We met through voguing classes.
Yeah. So
And-
like dancing classes.
Exactly, voguing like from ballroom.
When was that? Which
that was
year?
in 2019, I think.
2019.
Yes.
That was a long
That was
time
a very
ago.
long time ago.
And you and I didn't meet until like
We didn't properly meet until
2022.
yeah, but we did meet once in 2020. You
Yeah.
were very drunk.
Yeah. Yeah, so we've always like known about each
Yes.
other through Hunter.
Yes.
Since you guys got very close
Yes.
within ballroom and through the
Yes.
dance classes and everything. And
Exactly.
then obviously Hunter and I have always been like best friends. So of course I heard about you.
And
you
I heard about
me.
you.
Yeah. But I was in a relationship at that time.
And I heard about that one too.
Yeah. So that was a little bit weird, but
But at the time, like I didn't have a thing for you or anything. So if anything, you were just like Hunter's very queer friend in a relationship.
in a lesbian relationship.
In a lesbian relationship. And I was like, oh my God, that's so
At that time, yeah.
cute and fab and sweet. So I always imagined you to be a very sweet person. And I was
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
But that's it. Basically, it's not like
Yeah. The first thing I heard about you was that you have very good hand like hand performance in ballroom.
Did you know what that was at the time when she told you?
I mean, that because she was trying to explain the different categories within ballroom, like the different sort of dance
Yeah.
styles, I guess, that you
Yeah.
can
The different categories that you can
compete
compete
Exactly.
in ballroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so she was trying to explain hands. And then, because I guess I wanted to learn a little bit, and then she used you as an example. Like, for example, Shalmi, she has very, like, bendy hands. She can, like, they flow around when she, like, dances with your hands.
With
I
the
guess.
hands, it's hand
Yeah.
performance, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So that's all I knew about you.
Sorry, my chair moved.
That's all I knew about you.
Right.
And then we met. The first time we met was in 2020, just like you said. and I was doing like a bartender course. Bartender course, is that what it's called?
Like a bartender classes course. It was a course.
Yeah, like bartender education. And then I went out with my classmates, I guess, to a bar, and I was so drunk.
You were very drunk.
Yeah.
And then so me and Hunter and 2 more friends, we were just out to grab some drinks. Or I mean, I grabbed my mineral water.
Yeah.
And then...
Because you don't drink.
Because I don't drink. We were just having a couple of drinks, and I was having my like mineral sparkly water. And then we ran into you because Hunter was like, "Oh my God, I think that's my friend." Yeah. And then you were sitting there with your like classmates.
Yeah.
But then you came up to us to say hi.
Also, I don't remember this.
Exactly, because you were gone.
Yeah. So that's a little bit sad. I don't even remember the first time we met because I was so drunk. It's a bit sad.
And we just said like, "Hi, I'm Shelby, la la la," and then we just hugged. And that was it. The interaction lasted for like 2 seconds.
So the first time I touched you?
Yes.
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
No.
Of course, it's fine.
Yeah, it's okay. So after that, we met like once or twice in 2021. So the next year, because Hunter had like a birthday celebration, but I was still I was still in my past relationship.
And me knowing that, even though I thought you were cute, I kept my distance because if there's anything that I despise and hate in this world, is people doing things with people in relationships. So I was like, okay, this person is very cute, but I have nothing to do with this person. So I kept my distance.
But you still had some thoughts.
Of course I had. That was it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So moving on to 2022, so another year later. At this point, I heard more about you, and I followed you on Instagram, and I had...
Which I thought was strange.
Yes.
Sorry, you didn't do anything, but I'm also sensitive to people in relationships doing things, even if it's completely innocent. I'm very like intense about that stuff. So to me, it was like, okay, what the hell? But also, me and Hunter were getting closer as well as friends. So in a way, it did make sense.
Yeah.
And you have promised me you didn't do anything. So
no, I didn't.
Wasn't it like weird intentions?
No, I don't want to get into that.
No.
But you know, I did have some interest for you, and then eventually my ex-girlfriend and I broke up, and then it was like a Swedish holiday celebration.
Valborg? No.
Yeah.
Yes, it was Valborg.
Yeah. So it was the day before the 1st of May of 2022. So we had like a little, not a party, but like a gathering outside with some friends, and then I invited you and Hunter.
And at this point you were single?
Yeah, so now I was single, and this was the first time we met after me getting single, or getting single after me becoming single. Like, this was also just like a week after.
The funny thing is that Hunter called me one day and was like, yeah, Benji, they broke up. And I was like, oh my God, that's so freaking sad. Because in my head, like, that's so sad. And then she was like, yeah, you should go for it. I was like, what are you talking about? They've like broken up 2 seconds ago. I'm not going to go for it. I'm going to leave that.
But then you did.
But then I did, because I couldn't stop myself, because you were so incredibly...
But I was also like, I was very much fine after that breakup, because it was like, we ended on good terms. It was mostly just because we didn't have feelings for each other anymore. Yeah. So after that, I was in a good place.
And I mean, for me, I definitely asked Hunter, are they in a good place? Because if it's not, I'm not going to get into any messy situation.
Yeah.
And she told me that, no, everything was fine.
Yeah.
And therefore, she told me that I was good to go. But still, I felt like I didn't want to, I don't know. I'm weird about that stuff. Yeah. And yet, I couldn't stop myself because you were so irresistible. That's so evil. We did kiss on that Valborg, on that celebration. But it was a drinking game situation.
Yeah, so. we played like a drinking game, and then... Yes. But I sort of,
manipulated the game.
Yes, because I sneak peeked at the cards, because it was like a truth or dare kind of thing, and you were sitting on my right side, like beside me,
Yeah.
and then I was going to take a card,
Yeah.
but then I didn't take the one I was supposed to take. I took the one under that card because I already saw what it was before, and I knew that it said like kiss the person to your right. So I was just like, oh my god, this is the card I chose. Oh, or the card I picked or had to take.
Right.
And I was like, oh, I have to kiss the person to my right.
And I was like, oh no. Oh.
Yeah.
And
so-
then our lips touched for the very first time. It was a very cute night.
Yeah, it was.
Night. Ew, that was disgusting.
Yeah, so then we did a little mini kiss in front of everyone else.
In front of everyone else.
Yeah, but then later that night you also sat in my lap because
We don't need to go into details.
okay, well it was not more than that.
No, it wasn't more than that.
Yeah, you made it sound like we did more.
No,
things.
to me it's scandalo.
Yeah.
Scandalo. I don't do these things. Mind you, like I've been such a okay, I'll explain in the next part of our storyline.
Yeah, so after this, it was like the beginning of the summer.
2022.
Beginning of summer 2022. So I was single, like I said. You were single.
I have been
and-
single for a long time.
Yeah.
And I wanted to keep it that way.
Yeah. And then, like, during that summer, there was a few parties, like, at some friends'
People's
places.
birthdays,
Yeah.
gatherings, just like any summer.
Yeah, just stuff like this.
And then you and I would, just because we
there.
had like mutual friends and Hunter at that point, we would just be there at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
And then there would be sparks. There would be sparks.
Yeah.
But the thing is, okay, to be completely transparent, transparent. We did like start just hooking up.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a more elegant way of putting it.
No, I was going to get to that.
Right. It was literally just a hookup situation.
Yeah.
A summer fling situation.
Because I wanted to stay single because I have been in a relationship for 4.5 years.
Of course.
So I didn't want to get into anything and start dating.
And
so we just go ahead.
No, and I was not looking for anything serious whatsoever because I had been single for 2 years. I really loved being single. I had completely lost any like faith in love, or had lost like I didn't think love was possible.
Yeah.
So for me, I was like, you know what? It's time for me to at least have a little bit of fun with someone that I trust, because I would never do hookups otherwise, because I'm like, I can't. It's not for me. Gosh, I sound like such a prude. But the thing is that growing up the way I did with my wonderful mom, those things are just like, you just don't do that. But
there's nothing wrong in other people
there
doing
is
it.
absolutely nothing wrong. Sexual freedom.
Yeah.
Sexual freedom. But in my case, I think I've always been afraid of like, I don't know. I don't even know what I've been afraid of. It's just, I've always been like, no, I wouldn't do that. Like I'm a nun.
You're very old fashioned.
I'm very old fashioned when it comes to these things. Like, yeah, sure.
You want to wait until marriage too?
No. But I'm very much like after all the things that I had been through in my previous relationships, I was like, I'm not gonna put myself through anything ever again. But then summer 2022 came, and I was like, you know what? Why not try to have some fun, and why not do it with someone that I trust? And since I had heard good things about you,
I had good reviews.
You had good reviews. I was like, you know what? He's cute. Whatever.
Yeah, this was also still before I transitioned.
Yes.
Just making that clear.
Yes.
So, I kind of identified as non-binary at this time, but didn't really tell anyone about it. So, yeah. So basically, that summer we had a lot of sex.
Oh my god, we actually didn't though.
No, it was,
we actually didn't. It wasn't that many times.
No, but it felt like it.
It did. Somehow it did.
Yeah, and then we didn't. Like we met at these parties, and then you slept over at my place. Usually Hunter slept there too.
in the room next door.
In the room in the room next door.
In the guest room.
And then the three of us hung out the next day sometimes.
Eating breakfast. But then you and I wouldn't speak to each other.
No, but then once or twice you stayed at my place alone.
Right.
Yeah.
That was scary.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know what to talk to you about.
But besides that, we didn't have any like contact with each other.
No, I found that I didn't like it. But that's also like how I know that I obviously liked you.
Yeah.
Because I cared. And not talking to you was weird.
Yeah, but I thought that too.
Right.
But I just didn't know what to text you. Or like
no, I
what
mean,
to say.
and I didn't want to text you anything. So I was like, no, if he wants to text me, he can text me first.
Yeah. But then, so that fall of 2022, Hunter and I moved in together. And then that just ended up being very convenient.
Very much so.
So you were at our place to
A
meet
lot.
Hunter,
A
quote unquote,
lot.
to meet Hunter.
A lot. Yeah, because I was like, okay, Hunter has her own place now. Let me hang out there.
Yeah, because before that, both Hunter and I were living in our parents'
Yeah.
houses.
Places.
Places.
Houses.
Yeah.
But then since Hunter had moved and now she had a place on her own, I was like, yeah, I'm going to go and hang out with my friend. But obviously, I also went there because
Yeah.
you were there.
Yeah.
And it meant that I could sleep with you.
So, because you were sleeping at our apartment a lot, and then we hung out every morning. I remember we laid in my bed, and
Like
we
the morning
talked.
after, we would just have all these very beautiful conversations.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
very deep conversations. I feel like that's how
Yeah.
I got to know you.
Yeah, that's true. So that was how we kind of got to know each other,
Yes.
and how we fell for each other, and then
Yes.
we still never planned anything together. Like, oh, let's do this. So then one night, like a few months later, I guess.
It's not December or like November 2022.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to confess my feelings for you, basically. So we were in my bed. I wanted to confess my feelings and just say that I was interested in something more than
yes,
what we
this is
were already
true.
having.
Yes.
So that's why, like in the middle of the night, before we were
Yeah.
gonna sleep,
After having sex.
yeah, I just told you that I would love to do something just the two of us and go on a proper date, and like just get to know you better because I really like you, and you. I remember I was so fucking nervous about that because I
You
knew,
were?
yeah,
Oh
because
my
you went to the bathroom or
God.
something. I just felt my heart pounding. I was like, I'm gonna tell her soon. I'm gonna tell her soon. But then I already knew that you would like feel the same way because obviously I had talked to Hunter before
And I had talked to
this.
Hunter too, so I was like
Yeah,
suspecting something.
yeah, exactly. So then you obviously said that you wanted to go on a date
Severely.
and you like me too. And then
Severely.
the like next week we went on our first date
Yes, we did.
and we went to dinner and then we went to like an arcade and it was
Yes.
the best date I had ever had.
Same. Very much
But
so.
we had a lot of good dates after that too.
Of course.
Yeah. So then we started dating basically for like a little while, and then we said that we were officially a couple
Exclusive.
and exclusive, exactly. And then I said that I loved you on New Year's Eve, and then like 4 months later we moved in together. And now we're here.
And now we're here.
So-
oh my god.
So yeah, we've been together for 2.5 years now.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's a long time.
Next week is going to be 2.5 years.
Really? Our anniversary is on the 8th
Yeah.
of enero.
Huh?
Enero. January.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So basically we started hooking up. Then we developed feelings for each other.
Yeah.
Then we started dating.
Yeah.
Then we said I love you. Then we moved in together.
Yeah, exactly. But I also came out as trans.
Oh yeah, that's a quite important detail. But just to sum up how we met,
Yeah.
we moved in together, and ever since we've lived together.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes I forget that I was not trans. I was not trans. I was trans, but
You hadn't come out to me.
no, exactly. So
Right.
when we entered that relationship, I was still not
Yes.
out. I still didn't know anything about myself. But then, like 3 months into our relationship, I came out to you.
Yes.
And then, like 1 month after that, we moved in together.
Yes.
Okay. So, yes, that's the story of how we met.
There's many more details to it.
Yeah, definitely. But we're going to get into the questions. So, let's go.
And then like 40 minutes later, 45
Yeah.
minutes later. It's a long story, baby.
All right. So,
Sorry, I'm
Stop
so sorry. I'm
burping.
so sorry.
Burping.
More
Okay,
I'm
so
sorry.
the next
So
question.
I don't know any of the questions because you haven't
Yes.
told me anything. I
no.
love that.
How do you guys fuck?
Damn. Okay.
I didn't want to answer this one. I just thought
Ooh,
it
you
was.
don't?
Well, I mean, I just thought it was so funny because it was like one of the first questions I saw. Always people asking this question.
Who cares? I'm like, damn. When people ask these things, I'm like, why do you want to know? Pay for the OnlyFans. I'm
But
kidding.
sometimes
There
I
is
can
no
also-
OnlyFans.
Sometimes I understand because there are so many different ways you can have sex, especially.
Use your imagination, mama.
Yeah, but maybe they want tips.
Oh, well, where do I start?
Well, we do all kinds of things.
We do all kinds of, okay, no, we don't.
Yes, we do.
Well, I mean, it's not like, we keep it very,
Professional.
no, like I would say natural. Is that what you can say? No BDSM, no whips, none of these things actually.
Very vanilla is what you're saying.
I wouldn't say it's vanilla.
Okay.
It's not vanilla when it's with me. Why am I selling myself here? That's nasty. No, I wouldn't say that it's vanilla. It's very passionate. And it's it's all about communication. So
We just don't use any supplies.
no, I wouldn't say that we do.
But besides like hard packer sometimes and
Yeah.
of course like lube. Is that equipment? No.
Oh, what now? A boob?
No lube.
I thought you said boob. I was like, I have two boobs.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna get more into these things
Yes.
in another episode when we
Severely.
talk about sex.
You
But
can invite me back if you want
Yeah.
to, and I can give the details.
give you the
details.
deets.
The deets. Yes.
Okay, next
It's
question.
very wonderful making love
Yeah.
with you, to you.
Likewise.
Thank you.
Okay, next question.
Yeah.
What's your ideal for a family together? And then also another question. Do you guys want kids in the future? If so, have you thought of names?
That's a wonderful question. That's so sweet. I don't know. Oh, it's so cute. We have talked about this quite a lot.
Yeah, we don't want kids.
We don't want kids.
So
I-
we're both on the same page.
Yes, we are.
And we do want dogs or
We
dog.
do.
Dog.
Dogs or dog.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, obviously, both of you,
Both of me.
ooh, both you and I, know that we could have kids together.
We could.
Yes, like it's not completely off the table, or at least that's what you've told me. And
What do you mean that? Oh, you mean that
we don't. It's not like we refuse.
Oh, okay. I thought
To
you
have
meant
kids.
like biologically we could,
Right.
which we can't.
We can't, and that's fine.
Yeah.
We also don't want kids in general,
Yeah.
but we know that it's not like a
Like it's a possibility of changing our minds.
exactly. And so we're both on that. We both know that both of us could change our minds, and then we both would be okay with that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But we have also decided that that's not what we want for our future. I have never wanted to have kids of my own. I've seen myself, like, if anything, adopting. But nowadays, I still feel like I don't want that. And luckily, you feel the same way.
Yeah.
I want to take care of people's kids, like my friends' children.
You like kids.
I love kids.
I don't
so
like
much.
kids.
You don't seem to understand what a kid is.
No.
I feel like, and kids love you though, so that's so interesting to me.
Not always.
Really? No, but the thing is, like, I love kids. I want to be that auntie for everyone.
Yeah.
But we have come to the conclusion that we do want dogs, 1 or 2,
Yes.
and his name will be Pascal. So we do, if anything, we have Chihuahua fever.
Yeah.
We look at a dog and we're like, oh my God, I hope it's our turn soon.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't get baby fever, I get Chihuahua fever.
Yeah.
I severely want a dog so bad with you. So that's that, I would say.
Yeah. That's it. Next question. How can you support your partner when they're feeling down from the dysphoria?
The dysphoria.
The dysphoria.
Dysphoria is nasty. You really
How
just,
do you know? I'm kidding.
Oh damn! You really just have to be there for your partner.
Yeah.
And listen to like their needs. Sometimes I feel like with you, from what I've experienced with you, it's really about listening and like honestly just being there, being present. Sometimes, especially if you are like a cis person, you won't know what it's like. So sometimes I feel like it's not needed for you to be like, oh no, I can imagine that it's so hard and oh, but you're so beautiful. No, just be there for your person, I would say. Because that's usually what...
Usually I don't really want to talk about it.
Exactly.
I just want to focus on something else.
Yeah.
But some people might want to talk about it and then just be there to listen in that case, I would say.
Just be there, be present, and be like aware of what your person needs from you.
Yeah. My girlfriend hates men. How am I supposed to come out as a trans man? Help.
I also hate men so much. I'm sorry. There's a few men in my life that I can accept, but most men are horrible, and that's just a fact.
Yeah.
That's just a fact. But to me, I can obviously only speak from my own experience, but you coming out to me wasn't an issue because I knew that you are you, and you're not. Also, I mean, there is a difference between cis men and trans men that is very beautiful in the sense that I think most trans men can relate to what it's like to be oppressed.
Yeah, you haven't grown up in like a toxic masculinity environment, so you're not going to have those traits that make men nasty.
Exactly. And it's
usually.
It's just as simple as that. I think for me, obviously, like in the beginning, I was a little bit concerned that maybe things would change, especially with like you've heard about testosterone making you more aggressive and these things. And so I was like, damn, what if things start changing and I don't like it? But then I just had to trust that you're still going to be you and that's not going to change anything. And
because you had also told me before that you never want to be in a relationship with a man again.
I had made a promise to myself to never go near a man ever again.
Yeah, because before that you were in a relationship with a cis man.
Yes.
And before that, non-binary person.
I'm not sure actually what they identify as today, but from the last time I checked or knew it was non-binary person. Yeah. But the person after that was a cis man, and so after that I just promised myself to never be with a man ever again. So, you know, the thought...
We should have a boo button. We only have a cheers button.
I mean, the thought of like being with someone that would have more hair on their legs, that would have a darker voice, that would like get stronger. To be honest with you, the idea of that terrified me. But then when I thought about those things on you, I just felt like that's so you, that's so Benji, that's so like genuinely who you are at your core. And then there wasn't an issue for me with that, obviously, because it's you. The issue was never like manly traits or whatever, or masculine traits or whatever you call it. What do you call it? Masculine traits, or like the male physique?
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah, like these things like or beard or like, you know, that wasn't the issue. It was, you know, the person behind it, I guess, because no shade, but that relationship wasn't healthy, right?
It was toxic as fuck.
Ay, Dios mío.
I'm kidding.
But I just thought to myself, you're not a nasty person.
Yeah. No matter if I'm not a nasty person or if I'm not a bad person at my core, then transitioning is not going to change that.
Exactly. If anything, you're just going to be a more truer version of yourself, which is something that it does help that I am bisexual.
Yeah.
Bisexual, queer. So in that sense, that was never an issue for me. But, you know, I'm with you today, and I have a lot of respect for trans men. But I absolutely, there's a lot about, you know, cis men. Even saying it now, I'm scared. Like, what if a cis man attacks me because they just, like, accidentally hear
then
this?
I'll kill him.
Damn. No, because it's, you know, yeah, I don't like men either. And yet I'm so in love with you.
Yeah.
You're a special kind of man.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
and not just because I'm trans.
No, it's because you're Benji.
Yeah. Has your dynamic changed since Benji came out?
Yes.
That was fast.
I would say that things have gotten so much cuter and better and special. And
Yeah, things have gotten a lot better. I'd say things have gotten a lot better since I started testosterone.
Yes, because
primarily
because you're more yourself. That's
Yeah.
the only reason, and because I get to be your girlfriend because you love being my boyfriend. And
yeah,
you
it was hard for me to see myself as a boyfriend before starting testosterone, but still being like, I don't know, it was just a weird time, like being your boyfriend and after coming out to you, but then not being on testosterone made me just feel like not man enough, basically, and just
which is not how I saw it. Because
no.
to me, like from the first time that I met you, I was like, this is a boy. There was something so boy energy about you in a nice way, despite what I just said about men and boyhood. There are many beautiful things about manhood and boyhood, but I think that a lot of cis men ruin that.
Yeah.
But then I think I love being your girlfriend because you're such a good boyfriend and you're so boy. You're so boy. And I love that. And that has obviously affected our dynamic.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Even though I'm the spicy, crazy Latina that I can be, you're also like, you protect me and you're big and strong and I get to be...
Get to live the fantasy.
I get to
and
live
I
the
get
fantasy.
to live my fantasy. So, of
Yes.
course, our relationship has evolved.
Next question.
Does it actually get better later on?
Yes. In regards to what?
I don't know.
You know what? Yes.
In every way.
In every
yes.
way, yes. It really does. It's worth sticking around for it.
Yeah.
I would say it really does. Trust me. And I used to be someone who thought that it could not get better in all of the ways. But it does. And
It
then you
does.
learn to deal with the things that are not as good.
Yeah. Do you guys get hate? What's the worst case you have ever experienced?
Well, the beautiful thing about our friends, our family,
Yeah.
is that they're also accepting.
Yeah, and if we're out in public, it's not like people
up.
just think that we're straight.
If anything, you know what? We do get hate, okay? This one time, I'm at this, like, queer event.
We're at this queer event.
We are.
Yeah.
I said we. Did I say I?
I'm at this
It's
queer
like
event.
Monica at Friends. Like, it's
Yeah.
my wedding. No, okay? We are at this queer event. And we're on our way home a little bit earlier because it was on a weekday. So we had to, like, go home because we had to sleep because we study and work.
Yeah.
And then as we're walking out from this queer event, this like queer person looks at us and goes, "Oh my God, the straights are going home." The way I wanted to turn around and like, I don't know.
I'm actually bisexual. Or
Yeah,
what?
like I'm not a violent person, but I got so annoyed because if this person only
you're
knew.
not a violent person now.
I'm not a violent person. If this person could only knew that we're not the straights. I am very queer. You are trans. Trans and proud. I'm queer and proud. You do so much for your community. I'm in ballroom doing as much as I can for the, that community.
Yeah.
There's nothing about us that is straight. So yes, we do get hate. But in all seriousness, I wouldn't say that I have experienced getting hate with you, at least not in real life. We've gotten some weird comments, like when you posted something like with me.
Yeah, of course we get weird comments, people saying that you're a lesbian and that you're dating a woman. Someone said like, "Oh, poor woman dating this thing."
Well, if you only knew how lucky I am. I love his thing.
Well.
Ooh. But otherwise, like, our friends and family are very supportive.
Yeah.
So we're surrounded by love.
Yeah. So we haven't received that much hate.
No.
How does it feel to date Kid Connor?
I was not ready. Well, hello, I'm Charlie, and I'm dating. No, that's Heartstopper. That's not Kid Connor. That's Nick Nelson.
Yeah.
We have this ongoing joke between you and I, since a lot of people say that you look like Kid Connor, that I can be Charlie.
Yeah.
It's quite like
As a
Charlie
girl.
and like a gender bender thing from Heartstopper. And also, it's kind of like I relate quite a lot to Charlie. I do, because he has so much anxiety, and I'm like, oh my God, I feel you.
Yeah.
And he has so much. Yeah, we don't need to get into that. So that's an ongoing joke we have.
But you've told me that if you were not dating me, you wouldn't find Kit Connor attractive.
Sorry, no shade to Kit Connor. Wonderful actor. Very excited to see Warzone. New characters. In new characters. Playing new characters.
Yeah.
In the beginning, I didn't really see the similarities except for like the ginger hair, maybe like the, muscular kind of thing. Now I'm starting to see it more and more, especially when you do, I think it's when you do your hair a certain way.
I think it's mostly just the hair, honestly.
The hair, the fact that it's like orangey. But then I would say, like, if anything, I think he could look like maybe like a brother to you.
Yeah. Someone was like, he's your older brother. I'm like, I'm older than him. I'm older.
So in that sense, I don't think that I would have ever found him attractive at all.
No, but I get that, because
it would be like, oh, I'm meeting Kit Connor's brother. He's very cute. Kit Connor, is your brother single? And then he would be like, yes. And then I would be like, well, hook me up.
And then we hooked up. Has it ever been hard to adapt to seeing your boyfriend in a different way since he came out as trans?
No.
Okay, next question.
Or I don't understand the question. Like, has it been hard seeing you transition? Or seeing you different from what I first knew you? From when I first knew you?
Seeing me as a boyfriend instead of just your partner, I guess.
No.
Okay. Were you ever worried about losing attraction throughout Benji's transition?
No. I was not worried whatsoever.
But didn't you say that you were scared about me getting like hairier and like a darker voice?
In my head, these are two different things. So I
Okay.
had one, to me, irrational fear. Because even though I wasn't afraid, I was worried. But still, I knew that it was irrational. And then in my heart, I knew that it won't matter. I will find you attractive regardless, because you're still going to be you.
Yeah.
And I've always, like, regardless, been into masculine presenting people. So it wasn't an issue for me like that.
Yeah. Like more anxiety.
Yes, because this is what I've heard when I've, like, read about couples where one person transitions. There's always one person that's like, oh my God, what's gonna happen now? Or, but I'm a lesbian and I can't be with a man. Like, that's the only examples that I had.
Yeah.
But then I also knew that I'm not like that, and I know that I'm in love with you. How is that gonna change radically? So in my head, that didn't make sense.
Okay.
But also, like, just because I said that I hated men didn't mean that I just made like a promise to myself to never be with one, regardless of my emotions. But then you won me over. So that's the thing. Like, I also associated hairy legs with nastiness. So.
But now you love them.
No, I love them so much because there's nothing wrong with hairy legs.
You like scratching your legs against
Oh
them.
my God, it's so nice. There's nothing wrong with the male species. It's just patriarchy.
Yeah. That's the problem.
That is the problem.
What is your favorite activity to do together?
Ooh,
Well.
babe.
Okay.
Jesus. We do a lot of things together.
Yeah.
We do a lot together.
I love just like staying at home, watching a movie
Yes.
and eating food.
That's it's so cliche, but I've always loved doing that.
But I also love like going to a restaurant,
Going to the club,
going to a bar,
going to a ball,
going on a picnic.
going to the movies, going to your dad's place, going to your...
We've never gone to the movies.
We have not, maybe. We went to see Barbie.
Yeah, we also saw Paddington.
Paddington, yes. little mini trips to your dad's, just going out shopping together.
Yeah, we've never traveled together.
We have
yet.
never left the country together.
Well, we go to Finland to pick up my testosterone.
We do that.
Yeah.
We do weekend vacations, a 1-day trip to Finland.
We're gonna go tomorrow.
Yay! And I love doing that. It's so, oh my gosh. That's a story time thing.
Yeah.
Not that specific event, but like you should vlog.
Yeah, sure.
Actually, because it's so much fun. Oh my god. Everything with you, regardless of what it is so precious to me.
Yeah.
And so much fun. And I appreciate going to the store to get dishwasher things and what's it called? Like garbage bags.
Yeah. I just love going on
Yes, we
too.
try to make mini dates of a lot of stuff too. We go to the gym together. Like,
Yeah.
I love you.
I love you more, baby. I do. I just can't be serious. Have you got periods when you thought you both were not going to end up together?
Well,
This is a deeper question. But I feel like if you are going to end up together, you're probably going to have periods where things are more difficult and it might seem like you're not going to make it. So we have had one moment
that was
like that.
But the thing is, I just want to say, it's also maybe a cliche thing to say, but as you said, if you're going to end up together, you kind of have to go through those moments.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with going through those moments. Because at the end of the day, you know, oh, I realized what I just did there. At the end of the day, you are two people in a freaking relationship. You're supposed to, like, you're going to be with each other forever.
Yeah.
Shit happens. As long as you obviously stay loyal and don't do weird shit, then these things happens because obviously we change throughout life.
Yeah.
And things can happen, but it's also up to you to find a way to work through these things.
Exactly. If as long as you're always willing to grow as a person and willing to, you know, go through struggles together, and if you don't give up on each other, then you're gonna make it.
Exactly.
And as long as you love each other,
yes,
obviously also.
But the thing is, I wish more people would talk about it because I think there's this weird idea that, especially also coupled, like relationships on social media, that seem so perfect. They're not.
Yeah.
Because no one is. We fight.
Yeah.
There's times where I do not agree with you and you do not agree with me whatsoever. And that's fine because we're two people who love each other still. That's the whole thing. Like, can we work through those things? That's where I think the love is.
Yeah.
Because we're human beings. Like if I can't have a perfectly healthy relationship to my mom, you know, she's my mom. She birthed me. Like, you were also a stranger. Like, how am I supposed to? I've known you for just
Yeah, it's the same as with every relationships in your life.
Like you go
friends,
through these
family.
things. There's no point in being scared of that. Invite that, accept that, and work through it. Because the more you push it away, the more it's going to backfire on you, I feel like. So that's where we're like, yeah, things can happen, but I choose you every day. So, and I'm choosing to always work through whatever. Not whatever. Like if you murder a kid, I'm going to be like, okay, damn, like I'm going to try to maybe help you.
What if it tried to kill me?
Well, then kick it and kill it. Fuck them kids. I'm kidding. I love I love kids so much.
I'm going to have that in.
Oh my God.
I knew it was just an audio that you did. Okay, next question.
I love kids so much.
Next
Unless
question.
they're evil or possessed.
Who fell first? I think we did at the same time, honestly.
I think we did at the same time. As funny and impossible as that sounds.
Yeah, me too.
I think it was the same time.
Next question. How have you navigated the difficulties of dating a cis person as a trans person that was the entire sentence. In the. I guess this is more for me.
Severely.
But I honestly don't feel like there are any difficulties in dating a cis person. It's just
Are you sure we're horrible?
the only difficult thing, I guess, is to try to make you understand what dysphoria feels like. But it's also like you don't have to understand.
This is something that I think we talked about mentioning here when it comes to supporting your partner. There are certain things you don't have to understand. You just have to be there.
Exactly.
You don't have to understand to be supportive.
So that's it. What is keeping y'all together? I need tips from me, my girlfriend. I love her.
Patience, trust,
Yeah.
love. And then I would say being willing to work on yourself.
Definitely. Working on yourself is a big part of it. Because you're going to have to, you know, live your life and do the things you want to do while being in a relationship. Because otherwise you're just going to fall apart, basically.
Yeah.
So what also helps me, like, staying with you, other than obviously the enormous amount of love I have for you, is just, like, visualizing our future together. And it always makes me so happy. Like, thinking about what I want to do in the future with you, just, like, growing old with you. And, you know, so if we have more difficult periods, that's always what I like to think about, you know.
Same, because I mean in the beginning I didn't, because I struggle, like I said, a lot with mental health. I have a lot of mental health. I have a lot of anxiety.
You have a lot of mental health.
I do have a lot of mental health. I have a lot of anxiety, and so for me, one of my biggest fears is basically being abandoned. And I've been so scared of that to the point where I've embraced really not so healthy coping mechanisms to survive that. And I think that's definitely affected my sense of self and my ability to fully be independent emotionally. I always feel like I need validation. I always need to know that you are going to be with me. So in order to, like, make it last, or to, you know, stick together, I do think that you do have to love yourself first, but to not make it so like, oh, you have to love yourself before you can there's a point to that saying. You do have to work on yourself and be open about your shadow self, or whatever you call it, like your darker sides, because only then you will be able to be genuine and honest with the other person, and then you can, like, work on these things, I feel like.
Yeah, definitely. But also, I feel like a lot of people say that, and then that means you have to do that alone, which I don't think is true. You can't do that while still being in a relationship.
Exactly.
As long as you both understand that, okay, you're going to focus on self-development, and I'm going to be here to support you through that, you know? Because I know a lot of people, like, break up because I need to focus on
work on myself. I'm sorry. To me, this is one of the laziest excuses ever for you being like, maybe you didn't like the person, and instead of being honest, you're like, I need to work on myself. That is the worst excuse ever. I think it can be true, but at the same time, you can't work on yourself in being in a relationship while being single. It doesn't work like that. Yeah. The nasty part comes when you have to, like, confront these things, these fears, trauma. So for that, you kind of need to dare to be vulnerable enough to be with you need to also dare to be vulnerable. Yeah. That's such a difficult word. Vulnerable. Because it's so scary. It's so incredibly scary. But you kind of have to do that if you're going to, like, be with someone. You have to be genuine. You have to be real with each other and not just keep it on the surface. And if it's not working, then, like, break up. Don't do it just to be in a relationship. Don't be in a relationship just to be in a relationship. Yeah. But also don't break up just because you're afraid of being vulnerable and seeing your ugly sides, because a true partner will be like a mirror, and they will make you see the ugliest parts of yourselves. And then you have to be strong enough to face that together with your partner even. Yeah. And then you help each other grow. Yeah. And we should do this in other relationships as well, not just romantic ones, I feel like. Yeah.
That's very well said.
Oh, thank you.
Well said.
Next. Vulnerable.
Next question.
Oi.
I am a cis woman dating a trans guy. His dysphoria is worse during sex, and I'm wondering what I can do.
Once again, for me, it's been a lot about listening to you and basically like communicating and making sure that you know that we can stop at any moment.
Yeah, that definitely helps.
I'm not going to push anything. You fully decide what you're comfortable with. And for you to know that I will do whatever it takes to make you comfortable. And that I'm here for that communication kind of.
Yeah, definitely. And also like giving a lot of compliments definitely helps.
Right. This I do naturally.
Yeah.
But now I know that it makes sense.
More confident. And then also something that can help, like if you're experiencing a lot of dysphoria during sex, it can be it's easy to like disconnect from your body and from reality because you just end up in your mind and in your head. So things that can help as like the person experiencing the dysphoria is to like focus on your surroundings, focus on sounds, focus on touch, smells, just to ground yourself. So as a partner, it could be helpful to like touch, like it doesn't have to be anywhere specific, but it could be like just
acceptable places.
Yeah,
places
like touch your shoulder, or like if you caress my shoulder, for example, and then I try to focus on the way your hand feels on my shoulder, basically, and you can just say like, "Oh, can you feel my hand on your shoulder?"
No, because this is you don't have to be like that seductive. Like, oh, do you feel? No, but I also think something that I now realize I do is asking you in the middle of it, is this okay?
Yeah.
And you don't have to be like, is this okay? Like all seductive and shit. And you also don't have to be like, is this okay? Just like, does this feel okay? Does this feel good?
Yeah.
Can I do this? And then if you tell me no, I know that's fine.
Yeah. And then you just move on.
And then you move on. Communication is key.
How was it for your girlfriend to reintroduce you as her boyfriend?
Lovely. I felt like I was...
But everyone was happy about it too, right?
Everyone was so happy about it.
Yeah.
I didn't have to reintroduce you to so many people because you did that. I had to reintroduce you to like my family, I think. And then that was it. Because all of my barroom friends knew you somewhat. I mean, I don't know. I don't feel like that was such a big thing. And everyone got happy.
Yeah.
My mom got so happy.
Lovely. Yeah, I love your mom.
She loves you so much too.
How tall are you guys? Actually, a lot of people ask this question. I don't know why.
So I don't 165 centimeters.
165 centimeters, which is what in feet?
Feet. I don't know.
Let me see. You are 5'5", and I am 180 centimeters, which is 5 feet 10.8. So I always say 5'11".
Right. What was I?
Rounding it up a little bit, okay? A little bit.
Toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
What did you say that I was?
5'5".
5'5".
Yeah, or 5'5", 4.961 inches.
I'm gonna say that I'm 5'4".
No. Do you live together?
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. We recently moved also to a new apartment.
Very lovely.
Love, yeah. Did your transition affect your girlfriend's sexuality?
No.
But you said you were almost a lesbian before.
For, I don't know what reason.
I don't know what almost a lesbian is, but.
No, I said I just wanted to like, I guess be more queer. And in my head, I wasn't queer enough if I was bi. So I tried to say that, no, but I hate men. And so I probably am a lesbian. And you were very much like, you know, I don't know. Yeah. You were very non-binary.
Yeah, exactly.
Also hating men.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well then I obviously could never be with any kind of man. But
unless it's you.
Exactly. So no, nothing changed for me.
How has your girlfriend supported you in your transition? Well, actually, if you look at my like testosterone, my journey on testosterone, because I documented all of it on YouTube. If you look at that, you're going to see how she supports me a lot throughout the journey, because she does my testosterone shots. comes with me to Finland to pick up my testosterone, so I don't have to go alone. And then, obviously, being there emotionally for me, like whenever I'm having a tough time, you never get upset if I don't want you to touch me anywhere or if I don't want to do anything. And you always make me feel like a real man,
You
real
are
boy.
a real boy.
Yeah, well, sometimes I don't feel like that, but you always help me feel more boy.
Boy. I love you, boy.
How does it feel downgrading to being straight?
That's nasty.
Because obviously before coming out as trans, I was a lesbian. But honestly, I know it's a downgrade, but it feels more like me.
Right. So you're okay with that.
So I'm okay with it because...
It's so funny because before, like with me, you, and Hunter,
Yeah.
we used to joke that I was the most straight one because I've been with a cis man. And now I'm the queerest of the three.
Yeah.
It's so funny to me.
Since Hunter's also straight.
Yes. Next question.
Your girlfriend's hot.
Someone said that. Well, thank you. Why did it sound so angry? Thank you so much. That's very...
I know.
And it was a sweet comment. Thank you.
I think so.
I appreciate it.
If someone said that to me and I said thank you, you'd be like, why do you say thank you?
Of course. That's
Okay, speaking of, how you manage jealousy and how to build trust.
I'm crazy.
Yeah, I feel like we don't have time to answer this question.
We don't have time because it's a whole... Okay, the thing is, I am a very jealous person. I'm Latina. Not to like put any, what's it called, like prejudice on Latin people. But I'm Latina and that says a lot. I wouldn't say that we're horribly toxic. But obviously, like, look at my man for too long and, we'll see what happens. And then you are also quite...
jealous.
Sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not denying that.
But it's fine. Like, it's not like I'm going to kick you in the face because someone speaks to you.
How to find treasure like your girlfriend? She's so gorgeous and supportive.
Nah. Did someone say that about me? Yeah. Oh my God. Thank you so much.
I'm not saying it's easy.
Thank you. Damn, that's so sweet. Wait, to the person who sent this, thank you. That is so sweet.
Catnip mint.
Catnip mint. All the love to you. I hope you have a wonderful day. And everyone who is also listening, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Not just catnip, but love the name.
Yeah. Well, I say I don't know.
Be yourself.
She just appeared from nowhere.
Be yourself, because that's what you
Be
did.
yourself and just live your life, and one might show up.
But emphasis on be yourself.
Yeah. Your favorite Mariah Carey song? You have 5 seconds.
Why you so obsessed with me? Boy, I wanna know. Ooh, did not sound good. I don't sing, by the way.
Is that Mariah Carey? I didn't know that.
Yes, it's about Eminem, I think.
Oh. Have you ever misgendered your boyfriend? Did you feel bad if you ever did that?
No. I think I once accidentally said, like, I used the wrong pronoun because I was stressed, not because I misgendered you.
Yeah, okay. I get that.
Because I was looking at Hunter when I was talking about you. And you were very drunk, so I got very worried.
Yeah. Moving on.
It was fine. Fine.
Would you switch bodies for a day?
No.
No. I would get so much dysphoria from having your body.
So would I.
I would just like, no.
No, I could never. I do not want hairy legs.
Is that all that I have?
No, but like the freaking muscles, and you're so like,
it's the hairy legs.
big and the short hair.
I have hair other places too.
I know you do, and this is why I couldn't do that.
Y'all consider it a straight relationship or not? By trans men asking.
I don't.
I do. The relationship is straight, but you're not straight.
Fine. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is obvious, but is it though? If one person
it is a straight relationship.
Okay. Next question.
If you didn't think it was a straight relationship, I would be offended. Because you're a cis woman and I'm a man. So, and we're in a relationship.
Okay,
so the relationship itself.
This makes sense. It's just a language thing then, because this is not how I think about it when I say that it's not straight.
Yeah, it's not cis straight.
Ooh.
Relationship.
Okay, but I'm still queer.
Yes, doesn't take away from your queerness. You can have it.
Thank you.
Last question.
Oh no, but we have some more time.
No, we have to end it. Does she speak Spanish?
Pero claro que sí, Dios mío. No diría que mi español es muy bueno, porque como he aprendido, o sea, como he vivido acá en Suecia tantos años, aprendí a hablar sueco al mismo tiempo que aprendí a hablar. Por eso con mi mamá trato de hablar español, pero siempre sale el sueco. O sea, por ejemplo, si voy a hablar con mi mamá, it sounds a bit like this, pero después lo cambio un poquito a sueco, y kanske byta så här, porque la. If that makes sense to anyone. Pero sí, hablo español.
I can translate it.
Yes, go ahead.
You speak Spanish, but not super well because grew up in Sweden.
Damn, baby, you've been learning Spanish.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I can understand it well, but I can't speak it.
Right, but you do understand it.
So you speak Spanish with your mom, but you switch from Swedish to Spanish.
Between Swedish, Spanish, and English. With my brother, it's crazy.
Yeah.
We will talk about something like a movie, and then it will be every other word is a new language. It's so intense.
I love that. I will learn Spanish properly though.
Claro que sí. But I feel like I can't really.
Yeah. La vida es una.
La vida es una. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's it for this episode. Thank you all so much for listening.
Thank you for listening.
And most important,
no,
thank you to Shalmi.
Thank you for having me. It's such an
joining
honor.
us.
It's such a freaking honor.
They will love you.
Thank you. Oh my God, I that's too much.
Please comment something so that she knows that you love her.
No, my boy. Oh my God. No, I love everyone. Listen, sometimes Benji will show me the people commenting, and everyone seems so incredibly sweet and fun, and all the love to all of you that are supporting this podcast, because y'all are supporting one of my best friends and Benji. Yeah. And that's so amazing. It's so important what you do, and I just feel so happy to have been here. Please, call me and I'll be back.
Yeah, you will be back.
Oh my God, will I?
Yeah, sometime. All right, well, rate the podcast if you haven't done that, and make sure to send us a DM to our Trans and Transparent Instagram if you have any questions or stories for us, and we will read them at the end of the episode. Not this time, though, but next time. Thank you so much. I hope you have a great rest of your day, weekend, week, life. La vida es una.
La vida es una.
Una loca, quiero una que quiere bailar. Una loca, quiero una puta pa' perrear. Una loca, una loca, una loca, una loca. Una loca, quiero uvas en la boca. Una loca, el culo parece una gota. Bien hermosa, tu mirada me provoca. Bien golosa, mami vete para acá y préstame esa cosa. Mami, tú estás bien rica, ese cuerpo se ve a mí. Si tú me lo tiras, tú lo sientes en el tamiz. Si tú me lo tiras, tú lo sientes en el tamiz. Alright, that's it, baby.